Today, I welcome to the Executive Suite an artist that stood out to me with his style of blending R&B, hip hop, and classic soul, who was originally from Long Beach, California, but was raised in North Carolina. Young Fletcher, what's going on?
It's popping, bro.
How's everything, man? What's going on with you?
Everything, man. We're working on the album right now. Just released a new single. Just working, bro. Grinding.
Studio. Where you in California or North Carolina? You in Atlanta? Where you at right now?
I'm in the Carolinas right now. In my hometown, 𝓸𝓃𝓲, Winston-Salem.
Okay. How's things down there going on where, society's a little crazy right now? How's everything out there?
I mean, everything is different, but you know what I'm saying? We're getting used to the change, I mean, this whole pandemic has shook everybody, you know what I'm saying? But we figuring it out. We're doing interviews via Zoom, you know what I'm saying? So we're figuring it out, but it's been a process.
So what were you doing during when everything happened?
Oh, man. I had just released my new single, 𝓸𝓃𝓚, and I had like 13 shows lined up. Like, you know what I'm saying? The summer was lit.
Yeah.
And we got the whole no concerts, no, you know what I'm saying? So
yes.
I was working like crazy, and then everything just kind of stopped. But I kind of figured out a way to work around it. And I mean, I feel like this is really, this really show your artistry. It shows you if you really about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit of your upbringing, because, your music, you can tell that you experienced a lot in life. So something about how you were raised and stuff.
Well, like you said before, I was born in Long Beach, California. But when I was about 6 or 7, I came to North Carolina. Okay. So that's pretty much all I know. You know what I'm saying? As far as where I'm from, like I rep the Carolinas, even though I was born in Long Beach. I started out in the church. When I came to North Carolina, I lived with my grandmother.
Okay.
And we had like, they're really heavy in the church. So it was on some, you're going to do something, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be an usher in the church. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be on the step team. And I felt like the easiest for me at the time, not even knowing that I'd be doing what I'm doing today, was singing on the choir.
Got it.
And that's kind of where I got my upbringing from and where it started, you know what I'm saying, originally. And it kind of, it's in my music, you know what I'm saying? I spread the gospel, even though it may not be gospel, but I spread the good news. And one thing I learned early on in life, especially singing in the church, I learned how to make people scream, cry, and shout, you know what I'm saying, under the tone of my voice.
I was going to ask you about that. Okay.
Yeah, and which, in church, we call that the anointed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Control.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right, you know what I'm saying? And that's what that was. Again, like I said, that's where it all started for me, music. And I kind of went on to, start singing for the mayor and different people like that. And kind of started building my name from, myself. I became like the funeral wedding singer, you know what I'm saying, for the area at that time.
Hey, you getting that money. It is what it is,
Yeah. I was young getting it. I was into it young. Yes, sir.
I got you. So since you was talking about church, who are some of the major influences in your music? Because I know you got the hip hop, you got the R&B.
Definitely, like, you know what I'm saying, my grandmother was heavy in the church, but on Saturdays, you know what I'm saying, we would clean up. Like, that was when we cleaned up, and that's when we were privileged, you know what I'm saying, to listen to, I guess you would call it secular music, but it was Donny Hathaway, 𝓸𝓃𝓚 𝑀𝓊𝓈𝒾𝒸, Otis Redding. It was like so many, you know what I'm saying, Barry White. And as, of course, I got older and to, begin to progress in sounds and want to experience different stuff, started listening to Usher, Chris Brown. I mean, at that time, we had to sneak and do it, you know what I'm saying?
Got it. Okay.
If it wasn't 𝓸𝓃𝓚 𝑀𝓊𝓈𝒾𝒸, it was Devil's music. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, about 13, 14, I kind of just started sneaking off and doing my own thing. I had my first experience in the studio around 13, 14 years old. And I wanted to do R&B. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really was like feeling it. It was like, yo, you sing too good. You do, I mean, your people's gonna kill you. So nobody was really buying it. But I recorded my first R&B song when I was like 14 years old. And I held on to it for almost like a year before I let my peoples hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was the devil's music, to them. So, yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, man. So talking about music, what was the song, I want to say, that opened the industry's eyes to you? and said, yo, we got to watch out for this guy right here?
Probably back in like 08, 09, I had did a record called I Just Want to Know Your Name.
Okay.
And it was crazy how it came about. Like, I did the record not thinking that it was even really fire. My folks, Tap Money, who was at 102 Jams at the time, shout out to Tap.
Shout out to Tap. He in Atlanta right now. That's my guy, Tap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so he believed in me. You know what I'm saying? He believed in me enough to, like, he was like, yo, I'm going to test the record. And at that time, I'm cringing, like, I don't know if that's the one. It's always the one that you don't really care for, that everybody loves. You know what I'm saying? So he took the record and he put it on 102.
Okay.
And from there, like, after, like, it been on the radio for like 2 or 3 weeks, for like 6 months straight, maybe almost a year, I was booked every weekend. You know what I'm saying? So people really started to take what I do serious. You know what I'm saying? So that's really when I built a name for myself. That's where Young Fletcher came from. My last name is Fletcher, and that's where Young Fletcher came. I was so young when I was doing it, and it kind of just stuck with me.
Gotcha. Okay, so growing up in North Carolina, how would you say the music industry is now? Because since you're still in North Carolina, compared to when you first started doing music in North Carolina.
I mean, it's grown tremendously. Like, I mean, we still trying to get to the whole Atlanta, New York movement where everybody come together, which I think we're doing a better job. But from where I started to where it is now, I mean, you got a lot of great talent out here, man. I'm talking about, you got the Baby, you got Fantasia, Anthony Hamilton, the Hamiltones. I mean, it's and even in gospel legends, you got Shirley Caesar. You have a lot of dope talent. J. Cole, you know what I'm saying, right here from the Carolinas. And like I said, it's evolving so much to the point where we're now finally getting the recognition. We're getting the eyes. We finally got our own sound. You know what I'm saying? Something that we have been trying to fight for so many years. We went through the whole phase where we was trying to rap like the New York Cats, and we wanted to sound like we was some, the A, but now we got our own identity. And I feel like, again, people are paying attention to that. And that's how I know it's evolved into something crazy.
Talking about that, like your industry friends, I know you named a few. How do they motivate you to keep going? You know what I'm saying?
All my friends is like super dope, man. Like, they believe in what I do even when I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's always good to have that friend on the side who's up there doing it, encouraging you, telling you, like, yo, I was there before, keep pushing. And for me too, like, I get to that place sometimes, but it's very rare because I understand my purpose and why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I make music for struggling souls, and I feel like that's my mission. That's my purpose. Like, if you ain't ever been through nothing, if you ain't ever been evicted, house repossessed, all type of situations, like, I speak on those because I've experienced it and I know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I speak on real relationships, real love, like going through breakups, being in love with somebody that you ain't got no business being in love with. Gotcha. And I try to make sure that it's a message in everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Nah, talking about this, I didn't even have this as a question, but since you saying some things, what's the one of the craziest experiences that you've had? It could be anything, something you have to walk away from, anything.
I mean, it's so many, bro. It's so many. I can go real deep. I can go keep it real simple. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you want to do.
Let me see. I had a meeting with 𝓔𝓁𝓮 a couple of years ago. This is right after she had just signed Drake. Okay. I probably was like 18, 19 years old. Long story short, what made me at an early age figure a lot of things out with the music business and how I had to move forward, which is ultimately like what got me in a position with Gotti and how we had to move forward with it. I had to knowledge myself. I had a meeting with 𝓔𝓁𝓮, and I remember I went in, I sung for her. Like, it was dope. I killed it. You know what I'm saying? She had a little dog running around, all the A&Rs. Everybody came in and they loved it. You know what I'm saying? This at the time when she was with, I think, Universal. Yeah. And pretty much had the deal, had everything locked in the bag, sealed away. However, at the time that I went to see Sylvia, so I was signed to a label before that.
Okay.
I had paperwork, everything was legit. Because I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now about the music business, when I asked to get out of my contract, the person who I was signed to at that time was like, cool, you can go. So I knew I had to have a release form. So he sent me a release form. I signed it. They signed it. Everything was good. Because I didn't know the business, I'm moving forward to, you know, just go out there and meet different situations and put myself in a better place. And ultimately, it bit me in the long run because I didn't have my business together. I didn't have an attorney. In the state of North Carolina, when you sign a deal, you have to get it notarized. When you want to be released from a deal, you have to get it notarized. So I went and I did all of this work, put in all of this time and energy, you know, just put myself in better positions, only to work to get back to the label that I was signed to the first time. She basically had the money. Everything was right there, bro. And
wow,
the label sent a cease and desist to her, telling her that she couldn't do business with me without the consent of them. And even though I had a release letter, it wasn't signed and it wasn't notarized. It was signed, but it wasn't notarized. So I learned a valuable lesson. A lot of great things came from that situation because Sylvia put me in contact with some Jews, some lawyers, some dope attorneys. And I mean, we end up getting out of the situation, but it took time. But it was probably one of my greatest lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
From the music business. Yeah.
Well, talking about lessons, and I guess before we get into your single, one of your singles, Yo Gotti, you know, the people want to know what, and I guess in the short term, how can you explain that situation from where it was 2-3 years ago to where it is now, and you having him on one of your singles called Truth Be Told?
I mean, all right, so long story short, my uncle started a record label called SDE. And he was asking me to be a part of the label. And at that time, I was kind of going through a place where it was like, look, I don't want to sign no hood labels. If it ain't right, blah, 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 blah. You know, I was popping off. But he was like, bro, I'm serious. I'm ready to drop the bag. I said, I tell you what, I'll do a single deal with you. But we got to get an artist or somebody on the song to really, like, help jump this off, like, so we can get it out there. And he was like, well, who you want to get on it? You know what I'm saying? And Yo Gotti, at that time, it still is, you know what I'm saying, one of my favorite artists. So I just threw it out there, knowing that I was reaching for the stars, almost like a mission impossible, but I'm going to throw it out there. Either way, he went, he got in contact with the management. He made it happen. We dropped a substantial amount of money to get him on it, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a free situation, but, you know what I'm saying, there was a lot of good things that came with that situation. It wasn't just all bad. I sent him like 2 or 3 records. He picked the one he wanted to jump on. He was initially supposed to charge us one thing, but he was rocking with me so hard, you know what I'm saying? He showed love, you know what I'm saying? He was a real dude who showed love. Know that we was on the come up, and he dropped his price, cut it in half, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. And
so he showed love. But one of the issues that we ran into was everything was going smooth, you know what I'm saying? They asked me if I wanted to be signed to the label. And at that time, you know what I'm saying, of course I want to. Say it again?
So it seems everywhere you go, everybody want to sign you.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So he asked me, you know, they asked me to sign to the label. And of course, I'm flattered. I would love to sign to CMG, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on their team is winning. But I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, loyalty is key to me. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly didn't know if it was a trick question, if it was a test. Like, I can't leave my uncle who just dropped the bag. You know what I'm saying? And I just promised, I'm promising this, my uncle, yo, I'm gonna rock with you. And just up and leave him at the first opportunity. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't in me. Yeah. So again, when I declined, I noticed like all communication stopped. You know what I'm saying? We went through a period where everything was smooth. I mean, for a whole month and a half, maybe 2. Like, we talking, like, we going back and forth in email about, you know what I'm saying, even getting the release to the record. I mean, we getting the label sending us stuff. The attorneys are talking to get this record cleared. And after me pretty much telling them that I couldn't do that, you know what I'm saying, I even created another option. Like, yo, maybe we could do management. Maybe we could do something else. Yeah. But we couldn't do me leaving the label that I'm working with right now. You know what I'm saying? So once the communication stopped, I feel like our hand was pushed. You know what I'm saying? For several times to even sit back and saying, you know what, we're gonna play the waiting game. They might be busy. You know what I'm saying? We gave every what if, you know what I'm saying, we could, to the point where our hand was forced. I hate we had to go about it that way. I still, even like now, never wanted to have an imprint in the business of suing Yo Gotti, you know what I'm saying, or the King of Memphis. Like, it just, the whole thought of it even still is cringing. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like it. But like I said, our hand was forced. We had to do what we had to do. It was too much money as an up and coming artist
to just let
it go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe another dude in the industry that financially might have been at another level at that time, but we couldn't do that. So when we got the attorneys involved, I mean, it was still a process. We did this record in 2016, 17. It was a process, you know what I'm saying? Even getting them served, you know what I'm saying? It's Yo Gotti. You can't just walk up to Yo Gotti.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went through that phase. We got all of that situated. We ended up getting them served. And I don't want to say he didn't take it serious, or I don't know, maybe he forgot about the court date. But either way, he missed the court date. And the judge looked at that as kind of like deception. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, I think at that time he had posted a picture online, like with a whole bunch of money to his ear, and he was on a yacht full of beautiful women. So I think the judge looked at that and kind of looked at it, you know, like it was disrespect, or you taking it light.
Yeah.
We originally sued for 2.2, and the judge tripled it to 6.6.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, it got us attention. It got, you know, it got their attention. And they did start taking it serious at some point. But needless to say, bro, we got to the bottom of it. We came to a settlement that we felt like was fair for everybody.
Yes.
You know, and after really having a conversation one-on-one with Gotti and realizing possibly what took place, you know what I'm saying? He was a stand-up dude. I can't really say anything bad about him. He just put me on his mixtape, so shout out to Gotti for that. Yeah. It ain't no smoke, you know what I'm saying? You would think after a situation like this, it would be done. You know what I'm saying? It would be no communication, no nothing, but he still showed love.
That's why I asked, because now we're going to get into one of your singles, Truth Be Told. You know, tell us about the record, man.
So Truth Be Told, man, that's the one, again, that's featuring Yo Gotti. That wasn't the original record. The original record was called Pull Up.
Got it.
So what I did, I had to go in the studio and create a record, praying and hoping to God that Gotti would like it. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to go with the first record. We felt like it was dated. We was like, look, we're going to clear the record, you know what I'm saying, or go about it the right way. How about we just do a whole new record?
Yeah.
And so we got another record called Truth Be Told. I recorded it in a hotel room. I remember I was sick as a dog. And but I was under the pressure. We had a certain amount of time to get it back to him. Okay. And we ended up getting it done. The label, Rock Nation, everybody loved it. And they cleared the record, and now we pushing it as a single.
That's it. Okay, cool. Now, what you got coming up for us before we get up out of here?
Oh, man, everything. Again, man, I'm working on my album entitled Testimony, Young Fletcher Testimony. Okay. It's got a lot of dope production on it, man. I just was working with different choirs from like Winston-Salem State, different universities, A&T, Shaw University, and I just brought them all together. And like we putting the intros and the outros on it. I got a new record that I'm about to release in the next couple of weeks called Testimony, featuring 𝓲𝓃𝒶𝓉𝓏. Okay. And it's pretty dope, bro. It's fire. I mean, we already in the works of getting somebody for the remix, and actually, I won't even put it out there yet, but they're doing their verse right now.
Oh, they're doing it right now.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can't tell us who it is, but when I stop this recording, you're going to let me know who it is, all right?
I got you.
So listen, before we go, let's talk about your new single, Energy. I need you to introduce it to the people and tell the people what it's about.
Energy, man. I created that record a couple months ago, right after all of this lawsuit stuff. When it hit the blogs and it hit the newspapers, shade room and everywhere, of course, I had a whole bunch of cousins, you know what I'm saying, after the lawsuit, because they see 6.6. And I mean, everything just kind of went haywire, you know what I'm saying? It kind of got to a place where I didn't really know who to trust. I didn't really know who to, like, nobody was acting the same with me, you know what I'm saying? So when I wrote the record, it was really how I felt. Like, growing up, I never had nothing. Basically on some like everybody now want to be cool, and it's like, nah, keep that same energy.
Yeah.
And just kind of spoke from experience.
There you have it, the Exeqtive Suite, Young Fletcher. This one's called Energy.